I whip up and I gotta go, and I call my boss, and he goes, "Oh shit, really?" Well, whoever they just came in from the shop, they'd done something, they put something back together wrong. So he calls me back, and I mean adrenaline's running, so it turns out adrenaline will postpone the need to take a dump for a very short time. So he calls me back.
Fight or flight.
Yeah. So he calls me because I'm worried because I didn't check the oil, I didn't check a lot of the stuff. So I don't know if I have fucked something up, and I have broke this tens of thousands of dollar truck.
Right.
So he calls me back. He's like, "Look, man, nobody in Sterling can fix it. It's got to come out of Greeley, Weld County, to come fix it."
That's who you're calling to come fix it.
He goes, "I'm like, so what do I do for the next 4 hours? I'm 10 miles out of Yuma. Hang out, bro. Hang out." Okay, I say. So I go sit back in the driver's seat, and then, oh yeah, that bitch is still here. So I don't know what to do, right? So here's what I have to do. And people, it's the middle of nowhere. It's a beer truck, so they're pulling over to make sure I'm okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a turn
See
time
if
of
it's
year
unguarded.
yeah, pretty much. No, there's no weed above 8 inches tall, so I can't go squat down in the cornfield. So here's what I do. I take a Budweiser case. I empty all of it out. I whip up one of the bays because I had an empty one. Thank you, Jesus. And I use it for a toilet. Now I got that, a bottle of water, and like 5 napkins to do business with, all right? So I got to be precise in my measurements, if you know what I'm saying. So I shut the bay a little bit, but enough to give me like light inside the bay because it's pretty dark. Mm-hmm. And somebody interrupts me. I hear someone going, hello, and I'm like, oh, God. Go. I missed the box.
What? Seriously?
I don't know. Kirsten, I've never had a shit in a butt. Kirsten,
I was in China for 7 weeks. I had to shit in a lot of very odd spaces. I did not miss.
Okay, well, you know what? You're better aim than I am, Kirsten. So if we ever play...
Who would have known?
If we ever play...
Kudos and hats off to Miss Bomber Pilot.
Right.
Maybe better at squatting?
Hey, we all don't have businessmen to
squatter
shit
pilot.
on.
Well, and the other thing, too, is you're a math major, for God's sake. You get the angles. If there's any wind, you can correct.
Yeah, there's an arc.
So if the Olympics ever have shit lawn darts, Kirsten, you're going to be the American gold.
I'm really good at quadratic equations.
So I missed the box. So I do my business. I use all like 4 or 5 napkins, most of the bottle of water, right?
Do you realize right away that you missed the box?
No, because I got to whip the bay up and see who is bothering Happy Time. Water, please. So I whip it up. I put the bay down. I put the bay down, and I go sit in the truck like a rape victim and just stare straight ahead. Can't get my hands too close to my face because I only had 4 napkins. Kirsten, do the math, okay? They don't smell wonderful.
How many? What kind of? Are they napkins from Wendy's?
Yeah, well, they were like 7-Eleven napkins. Look at me. I eat nachos for breakfast. Okay.
This was not
so the dude comes out.
Lunch.
The dude comes and fixes the truck. I get all the way to Ray, my first stop. And thank you, man. I get all the way to my first stop, and they send a salesman after me to help me because I don't get to my first stop till like noon, right? My buddy Sparky shows up. He's got a big gulp cup out of like the big gulp. He's laughing. He's like, "Want a drink of this, bro?" And I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Well, I didn't want to stop, so I peed in the big gulp." I said, "You know what? I can beat that."
I almost shit in a box.
I whip up that bay.
That was a Justin Timberlake song, wasn't it? Shit in a box.
I whip up that bay, and he gives me the look like I guess a man would give his son for masturbating to gay porn. He just is so disgusted with me. He looks at me, shakes his head. He's like, well, "How did this happen?" I go, what do you? Okay, so I'm driving to Yuma, and I go, and Mother Nature is knocking on my back door.
Driving to Yuma.
But how did this happen? Well, let's see. About 8 hours ago, I had a meal.
I had a job interview in Yuma one time.
Oh,
I'm right there with you.
Okay, well,
so did Larry.
So I get back to the warehouse, and little Rudy Graham is the warehouse guy. He's whipping up all the bays. He's going to...
Wait, Rudy Graham? That's not the name of your shit, right?
No. He's about to bay. He's a little guy. So he's whipping up all these bays, and he gets to that bay, and I don't warn this poor guy. Now, it's a hot summer day, and it's been cooking. And we go to the car wash, because Sparky's like, "Quit delivering now. Get your ass in this truck, and we got to go find a car wash. You sick fuck. What are you, a hobo?"
So we call you a homo for taking a
hobo.
Why would we call you a homo? for taking a shit.
Because I missed the box, so therefore the gate must
How
not be
big was
closed
the
too
box?
tight. It's a beer case. It was
They're so big, and your asshole.
okay. I got it some in the box. I mean, it was kind of.
Oh God, that's worse.
Yeah.
You know when you go by and you see power lines and like shoes dangling off it? I mean, anyway. Half in, half out. Okay, half in, half out.
You need more fiber. Make that stuff solid.
You know what? And I tell this story, and Adam Vokey, the other Juggernaut brother, my good friend, ask Adam about it, Bob. He can tell you what bay it was in. I mean, you know how Budweiser truck says clean, crisp, refreshing. It was the clean bay, obviously.
Oh, it was crisp
No, it was not. It was refreshing. I'll tell you that because
for you.
Mother Nature kicks that door in. She kicks it
None
in.
of none of the rest of us.
The movie would have been better if it was 3:10 to Yuma with that story.
Oh man, some kid brought me a Mountain Dew and a burrito. Just like I was stranded, like the
That
Donner
sounds
Party.
so good right now.
He's like, just in case you're here for a while, because I'm a fat guy. He's like, that dude's gonna pass the fuck out.
We don't want him to start hitchhiking and eating total strangers. We gotta get him some snacks.
You look like you have diabetes.
Oh man,
So you can see the Budweiser dispatcher. Larry's gone native.
So when you say some kid shit in a bus, I feel him. That might have been a little Larry Moose Lundstrom.
That's true.
I
That's
was
true.
like, no.
I look at that
It was
child.
half in, half off of the seat. It was weird.
Oh man.
It was crisp though.
Kirsten, I wasn't proud of the fact I missed. I don't want. I made it, and I put little case cards in it. So I mean, you know, and I was gonna leave the box there, but I thought, well, most of the bay, it's everywhere, like you know, a prison rape scene. So
If you had any napkins left over, you could just put them over it.
I'm
He
telling
didn't have
you,
anything left over. That's what he already explained.
Yeah.
He
I'm
only
just
had
saying.
4 or
kinda like,
5.
you know, if your dog takes a crap on your rug, you just put paper towel over it, and then
That's
someone
not
else
true.
deals
That's
with
not
it.
actually what you should do with it at all.
Isn't?
No, nope, not even at all.
I mean, maybe
That explains
Not even a
the
little
smell
bit.
in the house.
Yeah,
I've always
not
just-
going to go over to your house anytime soon.
I've just always worked in crazy places where weird shit happens. I guess I don't know. Like
As it were.
I have unfortunate mishaps at work. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's
You don't have unfortunate.
It happens.
it does.
That's all we're
I
saying.
electrocuted
is it
myself
happens.
with a light bulb when I worked at the pet store.
Oh, good story. Good story.
I can see Bob laying on the ground twitching, and the gerbil runs by his head. Fucker.
Yeah.
And bites him again.
Yeah, right? No shit.
This time he bites me on the ear.
Yeah. It's a bastard. Swipe my earring.
How did you
New.
do that?
I had, all right. Honestly, I'm going to write a book called I Was Just Standing There.
That is amazing, dude. I really do like that. That's great.
right? Because that's when all this stuff happens to me, man. I was at work and I was just standing there, and it was like a shelving unit, but instead of shelves, there were fish tanks. So it was just like an island of fish tanks in the middle of the.
Okay.
And they were lit up, but the lights were up under an overhang, so you couldn't actually see the lights because
Okay.
you couldn't lean under it because the fish tank was there. So I noticed one of them was out. So I went over and I popped the light out and I took it to the light rack and I matched it up and I brought it back. And fluorescent light bulbs are like magic. Like they are, because it's just push, twist, and poof, the light comes on. Especially if you're not smart enough to shut the lights off.
Were you wearing an earring?
But then, yeah, I was actually.
Okay, go ahead.
But,
Sexy.
but anyway, so the two prongy things, there's two prongy things on either end. That's a technical term. I check an electrician. And you got to get both of those prongy things in each end.
Sure.
And then you twist, and then it's poof, and the light comes on.
Right.
But I couldn't see, so I was like, nope, no poof. All right, hold on. Mess around. Nope, no poof. What the fuck? The prongy thing is still sticking out. That's the problem. Mess around. Nope. The prongy thing's still out. I wonder if the other prongy, they don't ever touch the other prongy thing.
Jeez.
Because that is what my electrician friend calls completing the circuit. That will make you talk funny. My boss came out. I hold the record. PJ's Pet Centers was the name of the pet store, and I can say it because they're not in business anymore. But honestly, while they were in business, I held the record for being sent to lunch the most often and the earliest. Because every time I would do something wrong and almost hurt myself, they would send me to lunch. That's no shit. So in this particular morning, I get in there at 9. It is now 9:15, and my boss comes over to find out why his whole aquarium just went.
You're sitting there twitching on the floor.
I was standing there.
Twitching.
The light bulb
On the
came
floor,
out.
weirdly.
and like fell in the tank, and it didn't break, thank God, because it would have killed about $200 worth of fish. So it's just kind of, it's just sort of bobbing like the buoy of my failure, it just kind of just mocking me, and I'm standing there. I can't feel anything from my elbows down on either arm. Like I can't feel anything, and I couldn't think straight at first, and then the thinking came back, so that was okay. But by the time the thinking came back, and my boss came over, and he went, "What the hell was that?" Which is not an unusual question for me, even at that hour of the morning. The problem is I looked him straight in the face, and I said,
when it bobblered Chinese.
right? And I'm like,
It's a really hard language.
I knew, I thought what I wanted to say. It just, by the time it got out, it was completely, And he's like, are you all right? And I said, he said, why don't you go ahead and go to lunch, man?
How much electricity was in that? Enough to give Bob an extra chromosome.
Yep, I'll tell you what, dude. Yep, I went from Bob to Bobby like that.
I almost got shot in a Wendy's back room.
Were you taking a shit?
No, I was not. This is the rare
right.
thing. So Jennifer was the manager, and she was a redneck. The cops had stopped by and said that the Acorn, one of the gas stations close to us, was just robbed. And I, to this day, I've never shot a gun. I've never fired a weapon.
Really?
I never have. And so she goes and gets her
16
gun.
people.
It's a rite of passage in Wyoming.
She goes up to her car and gets her gun and puts it in the office. She's the manager, and I'm the assistant manager at nights. So I tell her, she's all, okay, so we got the gun in the office, and I go, I've never fired a gun, Jennifer. She goes, well, it's real easy. Let me show you just the basic in and outs.
Point and shoot type of situation.
And this back office has metal breakers.
What she did.
Metal breakers. I mean, it's a room about 6 feet by 8 feet. It's a little ass room. Okay. Yeah. So she goes, well, you take, and it goes off.
Oh my God.
And it blows a fucking hole in the office. The desk in the office, like on the leg.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
And I look at her, and I can read her lips going, "Fucking Eddie Joe, her husband, was messing with her side or something." I don't know. So I come walking out, and all the employees walk out like they heard a gunshot, and I can't hear what's going on. Like I can't hear what's going on, and they're like, "What happened?" I go, "Yeah, we got it done." So, hand to God. Lindley comes in the next day, our big boss, and everybody's scared of Lynn. She's not a very big woman, but she'll punch you in the mouth.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the desk. So Jennifer says, I think we have a mouse. Big
fucker, too.
Oh my God.
And he's mean.
So when I quit, probably a couple of years later, I was going to college in Pueblo. I was like, hey, Lynn, remember that hole? She's like, gun went off, I heard. I go, oh, my God, that crazy bitch almost shot me. You know. And so, I almost got killed in the back of a Wendy's in the office.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Isn't that great? All kinds of weird shit happened at that Wendy's.
Yeah.
But
when I worked at McDonald's, I worked with Beavis and Butthead before Beavis and Butthead existed. That's not
Cornholio.
Like, honestly, I worked with John Doherty and Ron Shaw, and they were like, I don't know how many times I would walk into work, punch in, get into the grill area, and just hear, no, do it again. No, do it again. No, the other one. Look at that. Oh, fuck. I came in one day, they had discovered that if you put pickle juice in the fryer, it pops like a motherfucker.
It hurts. It hurts so bad when it hits you.
And so...
Or ice. Ice does the same thing.
Like the thing... Fucking idiots. Like, they got one kid working the fry station. The other kid just comes barreling around the corner with a bucket of fucking pickles. Like,
no.
Yeah, and just like, whoosh, on the way by, you fucker! And now they're chasing each other around the walk-in refrigerator. I'm like, why?
He dumped the whole thing of pickles in the fryer?
Well, he just kind of gave it a splashed it. It was bad.
If you put ice in one of those things, it's like the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It is so bad, Richard. It gets everywhere. It hurts so much. Yep. Any crazy stories for you, Richard? Come on, everybody's got crazy work stories.
Nothing really crazy. I just had weird dealings with customers and bosses.
Well, you worked at Walmart, right?
Yeah, I worked at Walmart, and
It's a given.
we had this.
Like people, they I don't mean to interrupt you, but like Muslims, they bow down to Mecca every. People in a trailer park, or where's the closest Walmart? That's where they bow down to.
Exactly. Yeah. Usually face southwest.
Anyway, go ahead. Buddy.
We had a lot of Chinese immigrants in Laramie because of the university and all that, and we have a lot of they worked at Walmart, and I don't know if you've heard stories of people opening packages and they'll find these like hand scribbled notes in Chinese. That's like,
Help
oh my
me.
god,
Help
they're working me to death. So we had a lot of Chinese employees, and since I was working customer service, I got to deal with the boxes a lot.